What's going on, friends? James DeWin here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. Welcome to the show. Welcome. It has been quite the day, quite the weekend, actually. My son, the youngest, turned 18 yesterday, so I spent a lot of time with him. We went out and bought him his gift, his manly gift at 18. He's now he can legally be put in jail. That's what we kept reminding him. So don't do anything bad. So we did remind him of that on Friday, that once it struck midnight, he could go to jail forever, adult jail. So be good. No, he doesn't need us to tell him to be good. He's a good kid. So we spent a lot of time yesterday doing that, and then today all day we had some friends over for my wife's 50th birthday celebration, and that was supposed to go on last week. She had her birthday a couple of weeks ago, but it kept getting postponed because of the snow. Go away. We are tired of you. Please don't come back. We are so tired of it. It's so cold. It does snow, but the snow is not the problem. The snow, it is a problem because we don't have any place to put it anymore. But the real problem is that it's so darn cold. It's like in the negatives, and then it pops up into the single digits during the day. And there's no sun up here in central New York. It is a cloudy, gloomy day. So yeah, not so good. So you guys are here to see The Tick. Who doesn't remember the cartoon of The Tick when we were younger? That's how I was really introduced to The Tick. Let me pull it out here. I'm gonna pull this bad boy out. Let me see if I can get. Nope. That's why. Here we go. Come on. It's not doing it. Let me back that out. Well, this is the Wikipedia page. It's sharing the wrong screen. I'm going to remove that as to not confuse us. I was fumbling around, guys. I apologize. Please have some patience with me. I just spent all day entertaining some guests from a couple of different states to come and celebrate my wife's birthday. So I'm going to share an entire screen. This is the screen I want to share. Bring it to the screen. Bam, bada, bam. There we go. We're going to pop that bad boy up here. And so if you're not familiar with The Tick, he is a superhero created by cartoonist Ben Edlund in 1986 as a newsletter mascot for the New England Comics chain of Boston area comic book stores. The character is a parody of American comic book superheroes. He is funny. And I bought this way back when. I want to say that when it first came out as a trade paperback, I picked it up, if I'm not mistaken, from the local comics store that I worked at. 1996, I would have been working at that comic book store and would have picked it up off the shelves because of the cartoon. And I don't know when the cartoon happened, so maybe you guys in the comments can let me know what you remember about our friend The Tick. Ryan's in the house. Zebra Comics. What's up, James? That's what he says. That's what he said. That's what he said. And I mean, spoon. That is his battle cry. Brother Fong in the house, giving out the Tick battle cry. He can vote now. He can vote. Yes, my son can vote now. We have issues with the voting, but a discussion for another time, or maybe a discussion for like later on we can talk about my son turning 18 and why and what our thoughts are about all that stuff. Fong, beat me to the spoon. Yes, sir. You gotta wake up pretty early in the morning to beat Brother Fong. There was a live action Tick TV series too. There were two Brother Fong. One from Prime and then the one earlier from I think it was NBC. I want to say it was on NBC. I never watched The Tick. Ryan, where you at, brother? Where are you at? Where are you at? So that's how I got into The Tick, was the cartoon. I don't know if I'm misremembering that. Those were hazy days back in the late teens, early 20s. I had found girls and booze, and so I was not a believer. So I was trapped in a vicious cycle of debauchery. But this is what is on the drawing table right now. So this is a cover that I'm working on for Parables of the Set Apart. Number 1. I forget what the tagline for it is, but I'm excited that I was asked to do this, and I'm also looking forward to it being done so I can get back to Alpha Red. So I toyed around with doing another cover for Alpha Red with more of a Hulk Hogan, like putting his hand up to his ear kind of thing, being a little bit more pro wrestling centric. But I don't think I like it as much as the other cover that I had already done for it in November. So I think I touched up the one in November, and I think we'll go ahead and do that. But in other news, my copies of Illuminator 1, 2, and 3 came in, and I am excited to dig into that. I found them this morning. I guess they came in yesterday, but like I said, I was hanging out with my son. We went and got him a firearm because he's 18 and he can have it in his own name. That's his manhood gift. But I did not have time to look at the mail, and I just saw this sitting there next to the doorway, and so I'm digging in. And issue number 1 looks fantastic. It looks like it could probably be like your run-of-the-mill 80s, early 90s kind of comic, but the art does begin to suffer after like midway through issue number 2. So he doesn't get the powers until right here. I'm just looking through it. I've not read any of it, and I've read up on his powers and things, but just looking forward to him becoming the Illuminator. So next week, guys, we're going to do the Illuminator. But I was excited to share with you guys the Marvel Comics, and Thomas Nelson is the name of the Christian publisher that they kind of partnered up to create the Illuminator. And because of creative differences, they decided to part ways. They did not agree on what evils Illuminator was supposed to tackle. And because of that, no more Illuminator. So as I was looking through, I did notice how much the image creators were influencing the artwork of the guys drawing Illuminator. So just in the faces, maybe not so much this page, but like in the poses, this looks like a Jim Lee pose. A lot of it was Jim Lee type poses. Like you can almost see, goodness, I want to see, this is like maybe a Archangel pose, but like the cover to number 3 here, definitely. This looks like a Gambit pose, I want to say. He's throwing his cards, but like you could see the influence of the Image guys all throughout this comic. And by issue number 3, it's broken up into 3 different short stories, and I can see some influence of just some of the poses. I forget, as I was looking through, like this pose looks like a Wolverine pose over here. So, but looking forward to that, and I will be drawing that next week. So tune in. We are going to go fresh because there's not much to the Tick. I printed it out in gray because, boy, my colored things are suffering. So that is the reference. I'm going to put it right over here. Ba-bing. And then we are going to go right into, like, as I was thinking of what kind of pose, like, look, say hi to some other people. Let's say hi to some other people here before I get too into it here. The Geeky Catholic, Brother Ernest, is in the house. Look, you changed your little thingy. I like it. The Geeky Catholic right in the icon there. Brother Funk says, hard to beat me to first today. I've been homesick all day. Brother, man, say a prayer for Brother Funk for quick healing and some comfort and peace there. That's a great cover. I appreciate it. I'm excited about it. It's not often that I tackle such an ambitious cover. So many characters. There's 6 characters down here, plus the bad guy up here. The emissary is up here. This is Omega. I forget their names. Their names have meanings, like Hebrew word meanings, and I don't want to butcher it, but I appreciate that, Ryan, very much. Benjamin McGonigal says, nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Theo. Thank you. Got some kind of a viral infection. Had to go to the ER last night. Oh man, don't say that. Well, we're praying for you. Illuminator looks nice. Thank you. Yeah, you can find some pretty good deals on eBay. I bought that. By the time it shipped to my house, it was like $10.50. It's like $10.50. I won the bid for $4, and then the rest was shipping. Patrick Daniels in the house. What is up, everyone? Maybe the creator of the Illuminator will let Alpha Red meet up with him. So he says it's in legal limbo with between Marvel and Thomas Nelson. He doesn't even know who owns the actual rights to it. So maybe because nobody claims the rights to it, he'll just appear. An Illuminator-looking character will appear one day in the pages of Alpha Red. What do you guys think? Prayers going up for you, Brother Fountain. Brother Benny in the house. Before I forget, happy belated birthday for forever 21. 51, 21, they rhyme. They end in one, so we'll go with it. All right, so I didn't know exactly what to draw, so I was thinking, what is a good superhero, independent superhero? And so as I was thinking through, you know that I'm digging how exaggerated the Absolute Batman is. Like, he is part of his appeal to me is how over the top he is, and it just kind of struck me as I was thumbing through my independent comics and came across this the trade paperback of The Tick that I showed you. The Naked City is what it's called, and I was like, he's as big as Absolute Batman. So guess what? We're doing that guy because we're secretly just wanting to draw somebody as huge as Batman. So, and it's okay if he's like kind of overly exaggerated, in my humble opinion. At least that's how I'm going to draw him. And he might even, as I'm throwing this down, it looks like my Absolute Batman drawing that I drew a few weeks ago. So he might be very similar, but he's going to be drawn probably less detailed. I have my blue marker is handy because he doesn't have much of a costume. He's just completely in tights. He's just absolutely, completely in tights. So he should be saying spoon, right? He should be saying spoon. He should be, maybe his hand is up here. Spoon. Hang on, let me crack open the trade paperback and see if we can't get some inspiration as far as like his movement, his like his emotion is always in his eyeballs and stuff. So I'm just gonna ape his eyeballs here. You know, he's got the teeny tiny nose and then the super duper exaggerated masculine jawline there. You got the ears here and big brow. And all right. My favorite part was, I'll show you what my favorite part of this comic was he was looking out the door, and hopefully you guys have checked this out. And even if you've read it already or have never read it, it is still worth the read. Even if you think I'm spoiling it for you. But he's looking out the window and he's looking for the ninjas, the bad guy ninjas. And they're all just carrying twigs. They're lined up around the house. And he's like, no, I can't see him. All I see are these bushes. And it's clearly just the ninjas standing around with twigs in their hands. And I'm like, come on, my man. But, all right. Spoon. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find any of the, what I'm trying to find. Whether it's inspiration for his, like, a hand gesture. It doesn't look like it's too, taking itself too seriously. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw his hand up there and say that it's him pointing out and saying, spoon. And then the composition here is kind of tricky because it's so close to the edge. And I, once again, am drawing it on a backer board just to try to convince you guys that it is more fun to have it on a backer board so that you can keep it close to the actual comic. You can bag it with the actual comic. And let me see, does he have 5 fingers? Okay, I didn't know if it was he was a 4-finger character. He's a 5-finger character. All right. So so as to more easily collect your sketches, you can collect them on the backs of backer boards and put them in with your drawing. And I am I'm going to put this up for $45. So, and I'm going to include, if anybody wants this drawing, I will include the Tick trade paperback here. I don't know if they're hard to find. I found a bunch on eBay, and you can buy them for the same cost that I paid, which is $15 in 1996. So with inflation, it should have gone up, but you can still find it for $15. So so he's got to be saying spoon. All right, because he's a parody, I'm going to just go ahead and put the word balloon right on it. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Funk says you should do it so it's someone who looks like the Illuminator, but called something similar. Maybe Luminator. There you go. You read my mind with overly exaggerated Tick. Yes. Similar to how DC Comics created Captain Thunder, who looked like Captain Marvel, Shazam, initially to fight Superman. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, Brother Benny. Yes. Brother Scott, Jay Scott is in the house. What's up, James? Hope everyone's doing well. Everyone except Fong. Brother Fong is under the weather. Some kind of viral something. Knock on wood. I have not been ill for some time, and I would love to keep it that way forever and ever. But thankfully, we eat well, we sleep well, we get good rest, and we live pretty predictable lives. I think sometimes we get sick because we burn the candle at both ends, and we don't get the rest that we need, and we're not always eating the best things when we're in a rush to do a bunch of other things. Like con crud, I think, has a lot to do with not getting the rest that you normally have. And look at that big old jaw, huh? I don't think his jaw's big enough. I don't know. Can you guys see how light it is? All right. I'm going to go pretty dark soon. And the backer board just really sucks up the ink, so I might be able to go ahead and color right on there and not be too afraid that it's going to smear. So we might just actually maybe we'll start with the colors. I haven't done that in a while. Start with the colors and then come in with the line work after I throw it down. He's gonna kind of look like he's saying spoon. Spoon. And Kapowski. Kabamski, Kapowski. Spoon. All right. Let me grab my handy dandy blue highlighter. This kind of will start everything off. Let me see if I can, where's my phone? I don't know if this is worth snapping a picture of the penciled version because it's so light, but we will document the process. We will. All right. We're going to go right in with the colors. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This really calms me down for the weekend and kind of sets me up good for the week. A little consistency in what we do, how we do things. I met with a guy from church over the weekend, and he was just a young married guy, and he was saying that he's looking to get back to like a healthy spiritual routine, because now that he's married and he's on his own and doesn't have to be anywhere anytime, even in his normal work, he is very he has flex. He's able to flex his hours, so he can get up a little later, just has to work a little later. And so things kind of change. And so I suggested to him just to make sure that he creates a more predictable rhythm and stick to it. All right, just got to get the right shape of the eyes, right shape of the nose, and then kind of let the color fly a little bit. Then we'll wrangle it in a little bit later. And we'll make the light come from the top there. So we'll do a little rim lighting across the top. So the light comes down a little bit on his forehead like so. And then shoulders. Just kind of use the stroke of the highlighter that I'm using here to kind of add some motion or texture in to add that extra. So I'm just intentionally leaving some whiteness of the paper from on the upper parts of the muscles to kind of signal that light is coming from the top. Light is coming from up here. Yeah, so it's weird when you have friends over that don't connect, and you know certain people from different places or at different times in your life, and some drama happens and stuff. I did not realize that some drama had happened between some of the people who showed up to my wife's thing. And everybody got along fine, but there were people apparently who weren't talking to each other, who were avoiding each other, but they came anyway. So that was, I appreciate it. I didn't know until after. Like, hey, I'm sorry, we cut out. Just trying to avoid some people. And they named the people, and I was like, oh, that's awkward, I guess. I appreciate them coming. It is what it is. We're all grown adults. You can pick and choose who you believe, what you believe about some people, and hold grudges. And it is quite the mess. I do know a little bit about why they may not get along, but I thought that was none of their business. But apparently, people pick and choose sides on certain things. They pick and choose sides. I really hope this highlighter doesn't run out on me. I had thought about getting a whole box of highlighters. It's not super expensive, but like, it's hard to invest in just one color. And I would buy like the Sharpie version if they had something that was this light, but they just don't seem to have anything. Like when I pull out the light blue to do the dark parts, you'll see like that is as light as I have seen Sharpie go. I'm like, can you do it like this? And this is a Sharpie. This is a Sharpie highlighter. So I know you have the technology. Give it to me. Let's see if I missed anything. J. Scott agrees. Yes, colors, please. Yes, yes. Brother Funk says, have him holding a spoon. That would be hilarious. You're quite the idea guy, Brother Funk. I will have him holding a spoon over with this hand. All right, so this is the shoulder. This is going to be like the bottom of the bicep. And then like this is already the forearm. So we'll give the forearm a little bit more so that I can have a little bit of highlight over here for the forearm to try to give it a little bit of color. And I'm trying to avoid this thumb because I might forget later when I throw in the ink lines, the black lines. I'm running out. No, guys. I might as well go ahead and order the blue highlighter, the blue Sharpie highlighters, as well as the orange and the pink fuchsia. I tend to use that for like energy type stuff. All right, let's see if I can get away with kind of using it as really just suggesting his musculature here. He can be holding a spoon. Brother Fong in the house, throwing down some fantastic ideas. All right. So sometimes when you leave these markers and stuff alone, they bring themselves back to life. So I'm going to use this, like how light it is, to my advantage, and kind of go in and get like a second lighter highlight of the color and just kind of fill in so it's not bright white, and it'll look even better. So it's just like a rim light and not like a bright white sticking out like a sore thumb kind of a white. So I'm going to hope that when I put this tip back in its holster, that it will rejuice up. So we're going to put it and hope that gravity will give it some life. I'm going to stick it like that and grab the blue. I was not expecting to do it in color, but why not? Why not? Got that. Got my oranges that I use as red, just because that's how it dries. I don't know why they don't just put a red tip on there. Because the one that they put a red tip on comes out like blood, like almost like blood brown. All right. So I'm going to use this kind of as a tracing thing, right? So that it's kind of like the line work, but really I'll come back in and use the black ink pens that I like so much, and that will add another layer of contrast. So just kind of toying around with that. So I am aiming for a February 16th start date for Alpha Red number 8 Kickstarter Fund My Comic. I think I'll do both, just because I don't want to miss the Kickstarter crowd. And for whatever reason, there are some of my friends, that people that I know in real life, I put it on Fund My Comic and they don't touch it. Don't touch it. I put it over on Kickstarter. Bing. They support. So I don't know. I don't know if they just don't want to sign up for another platform. But who am I to poo-poo how they prefer to support me? I'm just glad they support me. So I was supposed to, this weekend, kind of start putting the campaign together even though I'm still missing about 7 pages of 7 pages of Alpha Red sequential. But now I have the cover. I have the villain homage cover. And that'll be exclusive for the Kickstarter. Just because it's a more normie platform. And that is where I'm going to tell the wrestling crowd to go, and they will find the villain exclusive on there. And like I said, I have already funded enough from doing commissions and you guys buying these Sunday sketches that I can pay for the coloring. So the crowdfunder really is to see if I can get enough funding for a larger print run, because it's much easier to get attention or buy-in from a retailer or, you know, like a distributor or whatever, if you have a bunch on hand. And the idea is honestly to get you a more exclusive cover, and then if we meet the $1,300 threshold for printing the large print run, then anybody who supported me on the regular, anyone who got the exclusive crowdfunding version will get a free regular edition. I don't know if that makes sense. So you are getting a fully finished, full color comic, but you're getting a version that is more exclusive. And if I don't get enough to do a larger print run, then I'll just have to settle for a smaller print run, whatever I can, with whatever extra funds that I get. And if I don't get any extra funds, then it will have to continue to cost higher, or I don't even know how else to get a larger print run funded. So maybe when I go to the Syracuse Collectors Con at the end of March, I will make enough that I can afford a large print run for Alpha Red number 8. But that's kind of how I'm thinking through it. And if you guys have other suggestions, I mean, I'm just limited on time as far as drawing more covers. I had intended to draw multiple covers, for one for each wrestler that is featured in the comic. But for me to do that and hit the deadline for getting it colored and getting it printed in time for the Syracuse Collectors Con, it just was not looking realistic. So I want to really prioritize the what I've got, and prioritizing finishing the pages so that I have a comic that I can present at the comic show at the end of March. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Am I overthinking it? I mean, as a independent comic creator, you're always you should always be trying to figure out like where your audience is, where your opportunities are. Will you have the right product for the right crowd? And so they're a pretty normie crowd. They're not going to be looking for an independent Christian comic. I don't assume people are running around looking for independent Christian comics, but maybe they would be open to it if it was available. And if anybody has a product that they would like to sell, I am thinking about opening up the back cover for an advertisement. I don't want to just open it up to anybody, because if the product doesn't represent the values of the comic, or just like a neutral thing, it just can't be like blood. If you have a comic that is like spilling blood everywhere, I am not. I would rather not sell the space to you. I don't know if I like it. I like what's going on. What do you guys think? You gotta get this blue highlighter thing working. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Have him holding a spoon. What a genius. Genius. We have the technology, the $6 million highlighter. Yes. Yes, sir. Spicer says, venomized tick. Oh, yes. I hadn't thought of that. Maybe. There is still time to venomize this guy. Funk says, if you get a booth at Comic-Con, maybe you can make a bunch of these backing board art to sell, so people can spruce up their comic book collections. Yes. That's the idea. That's the spirit. Let's see. Now that I gave it a little bit of time, look at that, guys. Look at that juice. The juice is back again. What was the song that you made for me, Spicer? Guess who's back? You had it perfect. I couldn't keep the rhythm the other week. Guess who's back? Was that when I returned to Sunday nights? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? James is back. I could not keep the rhythm. So that's the problem I have with these markers. Any kind of coloring, it just like it's kind of unreliable. Not kind of. To me, in my mind, it's unreliable. So if it's unreliable, I don't rely on it. So it's not a go-to thing for me, even though I have a stack of markers very close at hand. I just don't want to start using it and then it runs out on me like this highlighter. Kind of dying. It's okay. It's okay. It's not the first time it has died on me, and then I rely on it to come back to life. It will come back. All right, we'll set it aside again. We'll go back and use our trusty our more trusty Sharpie. So I did find, that I can buy like a set of 5 of just this color. And because I'm not using it as not coloring like huge pieces of art, I can use it in limited ways, like on commissions and stuff, where it's not like a real art, like a fine art kind of piece with lots of variations of shades and hues of a certain color. I can just use this as your normal Superman blue, or your Batman blue, depending on the Batman outfit era, the Batman era that you're drawing from. So you guys going to any conventions? Just talking to somebody about conventions today. Some of her friends are my friends too. And some of them are kind of curious about what I do, the comics and all. So my wife is just into, she has a podcast, the homeschool podcast thing. And so people, our friends in real life, tend to ask about that. And then some of them remember that I draw comic books as a hobby, trying to make the world a better place, one Christian comic book at a time. And they follow me on Facebook and other such places. And so when they have the time to spend with me one-on-one, it eventually gets to the comics, and they're all very curious how it all works. They're all very supportive. Obviously, they're our friends. Not everybody understands why grown men, and sometimes grown women, would buy comic books, but here we are. What did I pick up this week? Did I pick up? I picked up Youngblood number 3. Anybody following the Youngblood stuff? As we kind of highlight independent comics. Youngblood is technically an independent comic. It is not one of the big 2, even though Rob Liefeld is a product of the big 2 as a creator. Went off and created an independent comic that sold better than a lot of comics in the big 2 based on his name. So, all right. What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking? All right. I'm just using this Sharpie as the what I would do for the line work, the normal line work. All right. Let's try this. This backer board is very thirsty. I have found, I just bought a a lot of 100 backer boards just for comics and mailing comics out. And they come laminated on both sides now, at least from the brand that I bought. And it's a brand that I have bought before, and it was not laminated on both sides. Not smooth on both sides, but now it is smooth on both sides. So I have to kind of go through my old comics and pick out comics boards that are not so smooth. Not so smooth. Not so smooth. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the old Illuminator. I was very tempted to do it this week, but I didn't find that the comics had made it to me until this morning. And once we got back from church, it was like all hands on deck. Party starts at 1:30. We were home at noon. And I was in charge of the games. I had not printed out the stuff. So I was not able to read it. So I didn't want to rush into it. All right. Probably going to put like a black outline around him anyway, even though I'm using this darker one to really kind of do what I normally do with the rendering. Because it seems to be doing a pretty good job. Let's go back to the highlighter and see if we have built up some juices. Some juices have flown, did some flowing. Not as juicy as I was hoping, but a little bit. Actually, it's kind of aight. Kind of aight. All right, before I forget, let's get the spoon in here. Let's get the old spoon. Get the old spoon in here. So I don't know if you guys are you guys fans? Are you not fans, but curious? Maybe that's what I'll put. I'll use. Got the handy dandy here. I'm gonna do the 30%. 30% gray. Oh boy. This is dry as a bone. Dry as a bone. Good thing I have another 30. Where's my other 30? That's a 70. That's a 50. Here's the 30. Will it do it? Does it have any juice? Does it have enough juice? It's got some juice. A little bit of juice. Enough juice to make it look like a spoon. We come in with it's a black Sharpie, brother. Kapow. Spoon. There it is. Whoop, there it is. All right, let's break out some skin tone. We got light peach. Let's see if that'll That'll do. Let's see if that will do. Usually does pretty good. Usually pretty good. At least for the base color of it. Keep that mouth going there. Bazinga. Kabamski. All right. What else we got? We got this is light tan. I don't know if we're ready for the light tan. We have some kind of middle of the road here. Light tan, as I remember, is pretty abrasive. Light walnuts, I believe, is the brother from another mother. It's from the Sicilian side. Just slightly more tan. Kabamski. Let's see. There we go. There we go. So it's funny. I have 3 kids, and my youngest is, for whatever reason, the darkest of them all. He's darker than me, and my wife is Caucasian, so the other 2 are kind of like in between my wife and I, as far as color goes. And then out comes my little guy, and he's a dark fella. He's the tallest, slimmest. Yeah, he's okay. He's doing okay with the ladies too. So he's not hurting for the positive attention. But I'm just curious why he is the darkest of them all. My other son, his older brother, we call him the fairest of them all, because he's lighter. He's lighter than my daughter. It's just funny. Funny. Only in America. America. I'm trying to find like I knew I wanted the inside of his mouth to be a little bit darker, but it went a little darker than I was anticipating. All right. And then now I'm going to go in with with my normal inking pen, if I can find. But the 7, not the 5. So we'll go with the 7. Go in here and see if I can't. Actually, here, I don't want to forget as I'm thinking of this. Give it a little bit more rendering here. What I call rendering, I don't know if this is a proper term, but when I say render, I'm describing the technique of translating a hard black and white thing, trying to the black and white of the line, but creating a shadow, a form. So I am trying to create like a in between straight black, straight white, just like I was talking before. I'm kidding. No, we don't. We're probably pretty politically incorrect, you might say, in my house. Just because we're a racially blended family. So they just observe some things and we talk through some things. And just is what it is. Tis what it is. But if you were from the outside, walking into just a random conversation in my house, people who are easily offended would likely be offended. We'll just say it that way. We'll say it that way. This is turning out a little better than I thought. Better than I thought. Now. Nope. A little bit more rendering down here. I'm sure I've talked about my buddy Robert Estes from grade school, high school. He would draw these spaceships battling each other. And then he would get caught not paying attention because he was busy in the corner battling. Fong said, okay. Fong says February 16th is President's Day. Okay, maybe I took too long to get back to that. I'm not sure what we're talking about, Brother Fong. So with AR number 8, that is, you're saying that my start date for my Kickstarter. Gotcha. Hey, I don't know. Is that a good thing? Bad thing? So with AR number 8, what is 3 comics in 18 months compared to how long to do issues 1 through 5? That's significant progress. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I was definitely in a different season in life where it was like I was working, different job. I was coaching the kids, baseball stuff. I did not have a lot of free time. So is that the ultimate ice agent? I don't know. Is it Wonder Bucket? That looks very dynamic. Thank you. Brother Ryan. Look who's back again. James is back. Tell your friends. Come on. I stuck with it. I stuck the landing. Come on. The world needs more Christian comic book creators like you. Thank you, Brother Fong. Thank you. Looking good, Geeky Catholic. Brother Ernest says. Spicer says, I've been reading X-Force from issue number 1. The omnibus is really good. Love the storytelling and clean, concise imagery. Nice. No, I love the 90s stuff. That was like peak Liefeld, peak Jim Lee, Will Sprataccio. All those guys were just kind of firing on all cylinders. And I love peeking back at that stuff. Looks like he's about to give Chairface Chippendale the beat down. See, that is awesome that these the weird characters that they had in there. Like says, my wife wonders why her grown man of a husband still buys comics. You're in good company. Yes, indeed. I know that for sure. Bring your wife to Comic-Con so they can meet and support one another. My wife is a bit antisocial. She is. So your youngest son is literally tall, dark, and handsome. Literally. Sir, yes, sir. He's like 6'1", 6'2". He's got dimples so deep. The girls just kind of swoon. And he's a very considerate young man. Just he's a good kid. Good kid all around. But he's darker than the rest of us. He is darker than the rest of us. But that is funny. His brother gives him a hard time. But his brother is like the opposite. He's short, light, and he's a good looking kid, but he's not like your traditional handsome. You guys can see him on that PragerU video that they did on him and his lawn care company. He's about 5'9.5", maybe 5'10". He tells people he's 5'10", but I don't want to call him out on it. We just laugh. But he's about 5'9.5", not quite 5'10", and his brother is 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". His little brother. And Big Brother reminds him that Big Brother is tougher, stronger, bigger in other ways. My older son likes to work out, so he goes to the gym, and he's pretty stocky young man. Pretty stocky. So he reminds his brother how much stronger he is than the little fella. The big little fella. The little fella goes to the gym too, but the older one has been going to the gym for a lot longer, so he's got more mature muscles. Spoon. It's turning out alright. Turning out kind of alright. So this will go up on Etsy, unless somebody wants to grab it before it hits Etsy. But it'll go onto Etsy for $45. And you get the trade paperback. The trade paperback from my own collection. You just have to make room. I haven't read it in a bazillion years, so make room, gangway. Just really giving it the old contrast, hoping that this will make it pop a little bit more when the lines come in. It gives it the little extra roundness, form. Just let the darker light blue Sharpie kind of do a lot of the heavy lifting as far as rendering and creating a lot of that form. And then still maintain and capture the coolness of the lines and whatnot. No, I think speaking of like X-Force and the omnibus and stuff, that Rob Liefeld back then was, for as much as I made fun of his anatomy and the feet and all that stuff, it was very dynamic and better than his current stuff, I would say. It's still like his stuff nowadays is pretty dynamic. I do enjoy it. It just seems like he's taking some shortcuts. I don't know if it's a matter of like him. He says that he doesn't see as well, or I don't know about hand-eye coordination. My hand-eye coordination as far as drawing goes is still there, as good as ever was. I think. But yeah, I'm sure the X-Force Omnibus is pretty fire. I don't know, how many issues did he do? Did he do 3, 4 issues of X-Force before he headed off to do Youngblood? Pretty sure he's definitely the first one to put out anything from Image, but it sounded like Youngblood #1 was pretty much in the can already. The artwork for it was already in the can, so he could have still been working on X-Force. And still had Youngblood going. He could have still been putting work into X-Force while Youngblood was being released. It's just interesting. I love the stories about the creation of Image and all that stuff. It just brings back so many good, fun, exciting memories of how wild comics were in the early 90s. All right, guys. I think methinks it's done. Spoon! We are done. Let's do a quick signature down here. And I'll read the rest of the chats, and then we can call it an evening. I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, it's a good routine for me, and I'm just glad you guys are here to join me. Glad you are joining me. I don't know. Do I take too long on the signature here? Kamowski. I remembered to do the 6 this time, guys. All right. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. All right. Let us see. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys are joining me for the first time. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Let me see. Let me see. Literally, okay. Yep, there's where I left off. The Netadon says, "Hey, dude, what's going on, Netadon? Thank you for being here. Let's close this down. Let's. Whoop. Nope. Let me. Why can't I? There we go. Remove this, and then we can read this. Can you tell me, how do you use that scale board? I haven't seen it in many arts and crafts related content, but never seen how it is used. So there's a lot of ways that you can use it. It's really a cutting board, is how what I always thought of it. But I don't know. It's easy measurements. Everything's inches, and it's just an easy way to kind of line things up all the way across, keep things parallel. That's really the only advantage. I know they have these degrees here, and there's an access point where these things converge, and then if you put the corner of your page there, you can go through like the corner of this, and then this is whatever 30 degrees, and then this is 45 degrees, this is 60 degrees, so you don't have to necessarily pull out your protractor and kind of line up the degrees. You already have it here. If you put the thing here, you can use your ruler and bang it through here and know that that's a 30-degree angle. Just simple stuff like that. I think these scale boards are more of a kind of a, I want to say, Oh, I guess I wasn't showing you, but yeah, it's just like a shortcut, I think. Brother Funk says, sometimes my wife jokes saying I wanted tall, dark, and handsome. I respond, well, I'm dark. They all want tall, dark, and handsome, okay? We all wanted tall, blonde, and blue-eyed, okay? Some of us got it, some of us didn't, okay? Okay? We don't all get what we want. Hyver Awesome says, nice tick. Thank you, sir. That's what she said. I'm just kidding. That's probably in poor taste. That's in poor taste. Funk says, my wife is an introvert too. I think they'll get along. Introverts, they get along with themselves and their husbands. That's about it. Yeah, Liefeld was way better when he was trying to be Arthur Adams. Amen to that. Amen to that, for sure. Comic Relief Mike says, yo, dude, what's going on, dude? I appreciate you being here. Spoon! He's even holding a spoon. Mike, what do you think? All right, guys, I appreciate you hanging out. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. Until next time, guys, grace, peace. We out.
Sirens cry in the dead of night. Iron gates give way to a blinding light. Concrete shakes, the chains come loose. Evil walks free with a twisted excuse. From shattered sails to a purple sky, a storm is born and the reason is why. Dr. Dizzler strolls back again, cooking chaos for the fall of man. Thunder cracks, shouts his name. Every raindrop spreads his pain. But when the world is bent and torn, a hero rises to be his thorn. When the lightning falls and the heavens shake, Alfred rises for the innocent's sake. With faith in his heart and steel in his hand, he won't back down, he will take his stand. Weather turns wild, but hope won't bend. The storm may rage, but light will ascend against the dark. Until the end, they'll take a stand. Weather turns wild, but hope won't bend. The storm may rage, but light will ascend against the dark. Until the end, our champion won't break. Alfred will defend. Lie. Hurricanes, winds across the skies, a world held hostage by storms and flame. Nature itself bent to a madman's game. Gears lock in, the gauntlets glow. Every gadget tuned to the coming blow. Strength of 10 and wisdom above, powered by faith, driven by love. When the clouds roll in like judgment day, and fear tells every soul to pray, he remembers who commands the winds and who the storm must answer to. When the lightning falls and the heavens shake, Alfred rises for the whole world's sake. With faith in his heart and steel in his hand, he won't back down, he will make a stand. Weather turns wild, but hope won't bend. The storm may rage, but light will ascend against the dark. Until the end, they'll take a stand. Weather turns wild, but hope won't bend. The storm may rage, but light will ascend against the dark. Until the end, our champion won't break. Alfred will defend. Clouds, a shadow waits, pulling the strings, sealing fates. But no design escapes his sight, no hidden hand outlasts the light. Peace, be still, the thunder hears, power bows when truth draws near. Let the robots fall and the villain run. Let the rain and clouds black out the sun. Stronger than fear, louder than dread, the righteous stand where angels tread. From walls to the world's last breath. He fights for life, he stares down death. In crimson armor, battle red will defend. Shield of faith out for red.